Who taught you, please, who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you? We teach you to love the hair that God gave you. Here you way out in the middle of the ocean, can't swim, and you worried about someone that's in the bathtub and can't swim.
You're one black man who went to a good, essentially white high school in the city of New York.
That's
you
correct.
Obviously had had a good education. A good many of the people who work with you here in SNCC can say the same thing.
And we're saying that...
And you're a black man who came from a New York ghetto.
And we're saying that there's a system that allows for one or two black people to get out. And that's the rationale for keeping other black people down.
And it has nothing to do with the unwillingness or inability of the Negro to help himself and to work hard.
That's the rationale, that the reason why black people aren't this is because they're lazy, unambitious, stupid, have rhythm, and they eat watermelon.
You call on the black man to refuse to respond to his draft call.
That is correct. And we will continue to do so while there's breath in our bodies.
Do you really believe that the military policies of the United States are designed to exterminate the black man, as you've said?
I most certainly do. I look at the recent statement by racist McNamara, who says that 30% of the people that are going to be drafted now under his new system are going to be black people. And that's nothing more than black urban removal.
The white liberal who supported civil rights for so long with time and effort and money, what is your feeling about him?
Well, I think that there's no reason why they should stop supporting the movement now. I certainly feel that if they're genuinely interested in black people, and since black people have charted a course, they believe in that program, they will continue to give to it. They need more white people to civilize whites. They need them to civilize the savages in Cicero, who throw rocks and bricks at a peaceful and lovable black man like Dr. Martin Luther King, who would not even hurt a fly. But that's very important, because our uncles and our fathers and our older brothers died in World War I fighting Nazism to protect the Poles, and those same Poles turn around and throw rocks and bricks at us after we died to save their lives. And people talk about we are savages.
Mr. Carmichael, if you had the chance to stand up in front of the white community and say anything you desired, say to him, understand me, white man, what would you say?
I would say, understand yourself, white man, that the white man's burden should not have been preached in Africa, but it should have been preached among you. That you need now to civilize yourself. You have moved to destroy and disrupt. You have taken people away. You have broken down their systems, and you have called all that civilization. And we who have suffered at this are now saying to you, you are the killers of the dreams. You are the savages. Yes, it is you who have always been uncivilized. Civilize yourself.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. And, I appreciate everybody for listening. I appreciate everybody for supporting. You know what I'm saying? Now, I wasn't going to come on here today, that's, I guess, why I'm late, but I do want to show something that, and it's not as serious as some of the other stuff, but I do want to show something that I found intriguing. I would just say, you know what I'm saying? What's going on, my brother Anthony? Yeah, so I ain't gonna be on here long. I just wanted to show a couple of things that I found kind of interesting, you know what I'm saying? Um man, it's just my opinion. So like like I said, this one ain't gonna be as serious, but let me go ahead and go through it, right? Shouts out to my brother Anthony in the building. Now, first of all, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all saw your latest thing, y'all good old boy Joe Biden, you know what I'm saying, been on. But first, let me just play y'all boy, you know what I'm saying, just to give you a mind frame of what was. On his jacket. This who running the quote unquote most powerful nation in the world. And they gotta stand there. The soldiers gotta stand there like that ain't funny. I know the black dude right here, he can laugh. But anyway, this is an old senile ass dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is Jason Whitlock.
Now our great speaker, our partner, who all of these bills we've met.
All right. But anyway, so, I was just kind of tripping off this one. I don't know if y'all seen when he was like LL Cool J. He couldn't even say his name. Then he slipped up, calling him a boy and all that. You know what I'm saying? I was just kind of tripping.
And two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's spent. And MC Light, both of you, thank you. Because they both have the light off on the mic, you're all here to listen to the New Edition. Mike Bivens, 40 years producing music.
Listen to the listen to the New Edition. Yeah, I was just tripping off of that. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, this boy. And then a lot of black people is like, man, like, what do you mean, boy? You know what I'm saying? And they on his neck about that. But that's just what this dude does. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an old senile ass dude. You know what I'm saying? If they want to represent him for him to represent their nation, that's on them. But anyway.
Artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's spent. And MC Light, both of you, thank you.
So, they be on it. But yeah, it's not the first time. Earlier he called the other dude a boy who be campaigning for him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, of course it's gonna mess up now, but this ain't the first time that he said call somebody a boy, but this is black people be caping. Let me see. All right.
Hell of a new governor in Westmore, I tell you.
Oh, you know I was going to. I had to set it up first, my brother. You know I was going to that. That's why I was like, man, like, yo, what are we doing here? You know.
He's the real deal, and the boy looked like he can still play. He got some guns on him. You got a hell of a new governor in Westmore, I tell you.
Yeah, that boy do it because we certainly be like doing it. But speaking of like Joe Biden, y'all remember he was like America is doomed not only because of the African Americans, but also the Hispanics. So now when he go to them, you know, this is what he goes to the speak to the Black Caucus. He was like LL Cool L, whatever the hell he's saying, and like talking about that boy, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, just like But I gotta mention that in a second. That's why I'm going through this kind of quick. You know what I'm saying? So because I want to play that. It was just like the mindset that we got because it's a debate. Like it's a debate behind that. You know what I'm saying? Should we do this? And this is who is representing America here. But now he go to the Hispanic, Latino, whatever their caucus. You know what I'm saying? And he started praising black
Well, you
people.
might have heard Paul Murray talking earlier about Joe Biden dropping in the polls. Caleb, I can't imagine why.
No, it's really hard to work out when you watch the bloke for about 5 seconds flat and see what he's up
Not
to.
that they have anything to say
the
about
day, and well, when he addressed them, he paid particular attention to getting their name right.
They echo what my dad taught me, and I mean this sincerely. My dad used to say, everyone is entitled to be treated with dignity and respect. Congressional Black Caucus embodies all those values.
Hispanic, black, slightly different, but who gives a toss? I mean, I sometimes whether.
So he got confused when he was talking to the Hispanic. I didn't want to use their stuff, but I ain't have them. But because it was something else, but I didn't want to play that video. But he went to the Hispanics, you know what I'm saying? And then, it's just whatever. It's just like, listen, like the black whatever. And then they got mad about it, you know what I'm saying? And there's a bunch of people talking about all this stuff.
Joe Biden wakes up in the square office or something. Come on, mate.
If Trump confused Hispanics and blacks, imagine the outroar, Liz.
Well, Zimbabwe have crowned their Miss. Is participating. Miss Zimbabwe Queen for the first time in 22 years. The country is participating in the Miss Universe contest. But take one look at the winner, and you might guess who got really upset about this, despite the fact that
I give you one guess, Anthony, about who would win Miss whatever black stuff because you do know that technically they say that she could have a black kid, but then they get mad at me for saying anything about it. But I'm pretty sure we could have bet money and won who was going to win this one.
That Zimbabwe is made up of millions and millions of people. Black people only compose 2% of their massive population.
She meant white people. She's just dumb as hell, you know what I'm saying? White people compose only less than 2%, like 1%.
2% of their massive population. This woman is under some massive fire simply for winning and being white, with people taking to social media, etc., to be like, my ancestors are rolling in their graves because the two runners-up were women of color.
Well,
the white one won, and it wasn't okay.
Black
At least
woman.
it was a woman. I mean, remember.
I hope and one might have been a damn mulatto, so she might be a woman of color. It's crazy.
Netherlands, the Miss Netherlands was actually a transgender person, so still.
Exactly.
Well, that's different. That's European culture, where
At least it was a woman. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be white though. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Now they debate over can a man be a woman and all that stuff. So it doesn't surprise me that a dude would be their Miss whatever. You know what I'm saying? But they're white though. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna pick no black person. You know what I'm saying? They'll pick a white dude before they pick a black woman to be Miss Neanderthal. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, before I get on that, I ain't gonna play this one, but because I did want to say this, because he said this a year ago, and then we always talk about what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? That's the importance of getting in certain fields and being able to link up with certain people and preparing yourself for what may or may not be out here or what could be going down, you know what I'm saying? Because it could be real, you know what I'm saying, where it be like y'all see the inflation, you know what I'm saying? And who do you think is going to hit the hardest? The people that is black, even though the people that is black have the places where they could probably have the most abundant stuff, you know what I'm saying, including food, you know, that literally just grows out the ground. But like I said with the Hunger Games yesterday, you know, we're going to be the ones that's going to be hungry. And also check this out, right? So they got a clothing line. I've been telling you, you know what I'm saying, they'll do whatever, but they supposedly have a clothing line for them in preparation for this quote unquote race war. Now, listen, the moment that they step foot on your soil and kidnapped you, and now we over here like saying another language and don't even know who he is, you know what I'm saying? That was the declaration of war, if you ask me. But you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of us are scared, but you know, it's just about being prepared, you know?
Here it comes. Racist clothing line. All right. Yep. Let's put it up full mass. To Rise is the name. Targets racist individuals seeking, they want street fighter fitness for race war. The company makes sports gear for white nationalists, including muscle tees, track jackets, militant active wear pants, boxing gloves, and hoodies emblazoned with cultured thug on them. Kids.
I mean, we know they're the thugs, but you know, the thing is, right, and this is a part of like being in shape, you know what I'm saying, like going to walk and all that stuff or doing any kind of thing, but also understanding where you are in society, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, I be seeing them like running and jogging when I be out, you know what I'm saying, doing what I do. I mostly see, you know what I'm saying, Euro, you know what I'm saying, the crackers or whatever you want to call them, you know what I'm saying, they be out jogging, they be out, you know what I'm saying, they probably on steroids and stuff, but they out there trying to really prepare, and they can like unite like with the ones that agree with whatever they see. They use these platforms for those reasons, you know what I'm saying. Now they argue they have all the same things, but like even when they on PlayStation or something, you know what I'm saying, they are in the thing like uniting or getting each other's whatever, you know what I'm saying, they are. And while we're playing games and stuff, they are, you know what I'm saying, preparing, you know.
You not. The company specifically markets to members of active clubs, a global network of white supremacists who tribe and train, okay? The members of these tight-knit local chapters pursue street fighter fitness in advance of an anticipated race war or other violent confrontation. The active club aesthetic is gym wear and mixed martial arts prowess, according to them. So let's put up some of the attire. All right, so there's your boxing gloves. So Will to Rise is also playing the role of a corporate sponsor to, and I quoting words, a dark oath about securing the existence of our people and a future for white children, end quote. There's a video.
You see, like, no matter what, you know what I'm saying, it's about securing the future for your children, you know what I'm saying, like, and of course other people is going to compete and all of this stuff. And thing is, like, the government is set up for them and they are willing to run in that bitch, you know what I'm saying, and burn it down and kill people to be like, we will not be replaced by whatever they think they're being replaced by, you know what I'm saying. And we have been like hundreds and hundreds of years, and we'd be like, yo, hope, you know what I'm saying, not all is bad, you know what I'm saying. Like, it's not even about any of that. It's about securing the future for you and your children to not be in any of this situation and being able to defend whatever you do, because you want to be in a good situation. But unfortunately, like, the world comes for you and you got to be prepared for all of that, you know.
Montage on the Slick Will.
Yeah, over 700. It's probably thousands of them, to be honest with you. Like that was the reported ones, you know.
Homepage that's a little more explicit. Let's go to it. Here it is. All right. So, white unity, action today, victory tomorrow, rise. All right. It's programming is what it is. All right. So let's put this one up. Their mission. Yeah, they have a mission statement. All right. So they got this, our mission. The company's white only ethos extends to what Will to Rise labels its ethical supply chain with products exclusively made in Eastern Europe. So not a single hand.
Now, see, they like, yo, we gonna export stuff from exclusively from Eastern Europe. It don't matter where they from, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this white ethno state, you know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't be like, now they probably would still be like, oh yeah, I am this, I am that. They probably still will maintain that, but they like, yo, I am white only, you know what I'm saying? Like, and look, all of them are white nationalists, all of them, no matter who you name, you know what I'm saying? Like, they debate about how their white nation is going to be better. Should they include you other N-words or not? You know what I'm saying? Should we do it this way or not? But they're all white nationalists, and they all know that this country is set up for them to be protected in a system that protects them. You know what I'm saying? And they will do whatever, including working with other Europeans. It's just unfortunately, we from even the times of like back in the day, and Anthony, I don't know if you've seen that new Nzinga joint on Netflix, you know what I'm saying? It's like a series. I was watching a couple of it, but listen, you know, our thing that we still think that we got to unite with Europeans instead of each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they understand their mission, you know?
Touches the production that is not of like mind. End quote. The mission continues. We keep our people employed and keep all funds within our ranks.
Right.
Active clubs are the brainchild for Robert Rundo, a white nationalist from Orange County, California, nationalist, white supremacy. And Rundo was indicted on federal charges into a decent.
All right, but anyway, you hear him. He's like, yo, we put our stuff together, we pay these people, and we bring it and we put it back into our whatever, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully it just don't freeze up, because it usually don't work well with this, you know. But this is the active where, you know what I'm saying, what they try to put up, you know what I'm saying? And of course they are you know, supporting it. But anyway, let me get off this because it's probably about to freeze up. But you know, and this is not nothing new here, you know. But you know, that's just what it is, you know. Like, other groups outwork us, you know what I'm saying? They prepare, just like the Hispanics, you know what I'm saying? They out for themselves, you know what I'm saying? We the only ones sitting there talking about people of color and everybody. And this is unfortunately the majority of like Black people on a regular basis, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I probably shouldn't even got on this one because I might not even be able to get off. Let me see. All right, let me try it this way. Yeah, I don't know. I won't do nothing now. But anyway. Said Black people are terrified, and that's why they try to be friends with so-called white liberals. We are scared to fight. And I don't know where that fear comes from, but you know, that it does seem like an accurate assessment there, you know what I'm saying? It's excuses because we already know the deal. We know the truth. We already know what's up. You know what I'm saying? And we find any, and that's like black people thing all over the world, and that's the only thing. It's been like from the beginning. We like, oh, we gotta find a Euro to link up with, to go against our own or any of this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? We just accept and open up to any and everybody. You know what I'm saying? While everybody else competes for themselves. Yeah, well, you're here anyway, so you know what I'm saying. Thanks for your patronage. You know what I'm saying. But that's just the way it goes. You know what I'm saying. It's a sickness. I think is a disease. You know what I'm saying. And it's a disease that we picked up from them. See, I don't know why it won't even get off this joint now. Like, what the hell? I'm trying to go to the next thing. I don't know. Yeah, but anyway. All right. There you go. All right, I got you. Because this is not new with them. You know what I'm saying, being prepared and all that stuff. That's why they always like watch and monitor and check on everything that we doing to make sure that we aren't preparing. Because if we ever did or ever realized what was up, you know what I'm saying, like, then it's over with. You know what I'm saying? And so this ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've been having. Now this is in South Africa. You know what I'm saying? Where they got their training camp. And they got it everywhere. Russia, Ukraine.
In the middle of a field northwest of Johannesburg, a group of young Afrikaner boys has arrived for a very different kind of boot camp.
Die Bybel staan of ek sal net my rug draai saam met 'n volk saam met my Bybel
It
staan.
said the Bible says black people must live with black people, white people must live with black
mense
people.
bly en wit mense moet by wit mense bly. Jy kan nie saam met 'n volk saam met
Cannot
mekaar
mix
bly nie.
nations. While in South Africa, by the way.
Ek het nie swart vriende nie. As hulle na my kant toe kom en hulle vra vir my kan ek met jou gesels, dan sê ek nee. Of ek sal net my rug draai en ek sal loop.
Dion Barnard, also known as Sparky, is 15. This is his first experience of commando camp.
Dit is meer van selfverdediging. As hulle sê die swart mense nou wit mense aanval, dan tree die AWP in om te sê julle moet uitgaan uit ons land, uitgaan uit ons.
Now he was like, yo, it was like a self-defense. If they say that they are attacking us, we will come in with our guns and say, you have to leave or we will shoot. You know what I'm saying? Well, we would say we will shoot back, But, that you get the picture, you know what I'm saying? This ain't nothing new and all of that. They've been training. They've been doing all that. They get their young people prepared, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm going to show this, right? And my brother Anthony was talking about it and they was talking about
supposedly Miss Zimbabwe is supposed to be controversial.
Now, Miss Zimbabwe, right, has been a white person, and he's like black people all over the world is like mad, you know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, some Zimbabweans aren't as mad,
Controversial because Zimbabwe being a dominant black.
The way non-Zimbabweans have the loudest opinions about our Miss Universe being white, like, your opinion doesn't matter if you're not Zimbabwean. Zimbabwean is not an ethnicity. It's a nationality. The Zimbabwe nation is a group of many different ethnicities. Ethnicity is if you're Ndebele, Shona, white, colored, Indian, but Zimbabweanness isn't an ethnicity. So our ethnicities are black.
Yeah, most of them is black, and then mulattoes, of course. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, as you was obviously see.
But our citizens are not only black, they are a variety. of colors. And so, as long as Brooke was born in Zimbabwe and she understands our culture and represents our culture well, like, we literally don't give a fuck. We've got bigger problems to worry about. Our inflation rate is the second highest in the world. Our elections were rigged 2 weeks ago.
And they wonder why, right? They can't even get the Miss Zimbabwean right, and then be like, yeah, we got rigged and we got this, and we see. We don't be getting it. We don't be understanding around the world. You know what I'm saying? Our understanding is lacking, to say the least. You know what I'm saying? And she don't understand how you get infiltrated, how you get all of these things from happening. Maybe it's like a correlation there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's the same ones that you praise that's doing these very things to you. Who's corrupting your elections? You know what I'm saying?
We fucking have a terrible economy and dictatorship and whatnot. Like, we don't care, okay? Like, if she won fair and square and she deserved it, then cool. Because people forget that, you know, winning a pageant isn't only about whether you're beautiful or not. There are so many different criteria that are considered, like your contribution to society.
Right. So now the white bitch is the most. It's like they got a gun range in the city called the Gray Ghost. It's outside the city limits. You can't miss the big Confederate flag on the building. Yeah, I mean, yo, they are everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, they, like, them rednecks, they know how to like because they go hunting and stuff. Like, where I'm from, they got the Confederate flags too. You know, they got it on everything. They cars, you know what I'm saying, belt buckles, whatever, they shirts, you know. And you know, they are whatever we're hunting, and you know what I'm saying, certain tools where you could develop weapons and stuff like that. Like, I mean, just even as far as like welding and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, now they are a little like hills have eyes, like cousins having sex with each other kind of thing, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's 98% black, you know what I'm saying? She was like, it's not just how beautiful you are. Not only is she more pretty, she's like a better person than the 98% of black people out there too. Like, it's crazy. And they let her in the thing in the first place.
You know, winning a pageant isn't only about whether you're beautiful or not. There are so many different criteria that are considered, like your contribution to society, your intelligence, your personality, and if based on those criteria she won, then like, just leave her the fuck alone. We really don't care. Miss Ireland was black, even if indigenous Irish people are white. And, you know, people are going to say that, you know, black people who are in Europe got there because of slavery and whatnot. But hey, Miss Japan 2015 was half black, and it caused controversy. And people were defending her by saying that, well, she was born in Japan. And so it's the same thing here. And, you know, like, just because you are black coming from another country doesn't qualify you to then give opinions as if you represent African black people, especially the people with the loudest opinions are black people in America and the UK. Your opinion is irrelevant, okay? Like, being black, European or American, and being a black African are two completely different things. Our cultures and our worldviews are different. Our power dynamics between black and white people are different. And so the comments that you have are based on what...
Oh, man. And, you know, if I say something about it, then it'll be a problem, right? If I say that, right? Because I can't go there and be... She's saying, hey, what the hell is wrong with you with a white bitch being Miss Zimbabwe? If that's who you want to represent your people, what the...
Are different. And so the comments that you have are based on what black people in America went through, and our opinions about this are based on our own cultural context in Zimbabwe specifically. And most of us don't care.
Oh, man. I don't know how you feel about that one, bro. How you feel about that one?
I am Brooke Jackson, and
this is Miss Zimbabwe in the building. But anyway. Oh, snap. What up, matron? She sounds ignorant as hell. It's the same all over this planet. She wondered why the elections got rigged in the first place. But hey, she's not only the most beautiful Zimbabwean You know what I'm saying? She was like, as long as she was born here, you know what I'm saying, we need to shut the hell up. But anyway.
Akadini, Zimbabwe. I am Brooke Jackson and I am a 21-year-old beauty therapist working and living in Harare Metropolitan Province. My passions are all things beauty, fashion, and just getting to know people on an individual basis.
Later.
If you're black, nothing for you. But if you're white, there's something for you. In the world, white is right, but black is wrong. If you're black, nothing for you. If you're
Zimbabwe. Some thought it was a TikTok prank. Others thought it was a Candace Owens commercial for skin bleaching cream.
Yes, welcome back. White woman win Miss Universe Zimbabwe. Interesting. Somebody sent me this.
Sad. Another person says embarrassing, but Zimbabwe's history is disgustingly rooted in colonization. Yet the fact that the most basic white woman won Miss Zimbabwe in a country where 98% of the population is black and less than 1% white is colonization at its finest, especially when the...
Oh, she realizes it. Well, I don't know if she realizes it the way we realize it, but that's the problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we still looking for, you know what I'm saying, this white savior. You know what I mean? Like, she definitely sounds ignorant as hell.
As the U.S. This person says Africa has to do better for itself. Sad. Another person says embarrassing, but Zimbabwe's history is disgustingly rooted in colonization. Yet the fact that the most basic white woman won Miss Zimbabwe in a country where 98% of the population is black and less than 1% white is colonization at its finest, especially when the owner of the competition is a white woman. You just basically told the entire population of Zimbabwe that black women are not the beauty standard, and if you don't look like this, then you don't stand a chance. Total.
I don't understand why everyone's moaning that Brooke won Miss Zimbabwe.
You sound so ignorant is bad. It's true that I don't know who put this girl in that position, but you sound ignorant. Like, do you even know the history of your country? Like, do you even know the girl's family history? There is no way, because you're sounding British. I'm guessing you live somewhere here.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, Anthony. She is young. But like a lot of Zimbabweans have kind of the same opinion, like, oh, y'all need to stop criticizing us. This is our politics, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all need to shut the hell up. We don't care, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them are saying, because they ain't even responding to her. They're responding to other people who said the same thing as her.
There's no way they're letting a black girl represent England in Miss Universe just because she's been here from generation to generation. There's no way. I don't know why some black people want to be white people pick me so bad, like so bad. You're representing Zimbabwe. That means you're going to be the face of Zimbabwe, which is an African country. Why is it a white person's face? Like, do you know how long ago colonization and all that? We do not need any white representative in anything in our lives anymore. Like, you sound so bad, especially for a Zimbabwean. Like, I've been to school with you guys. You're the smartest people on the freaking planet. I'm sorry. Like, I'm just shocked and flabbergasted that you confidently come here and say that. Anyways, I'm waiting for the royal family or the British to put you in a position that they would never put a black person in. I'm just waiting because that pick me is just too much. Like, I don't know.
Y'all just keep on playing with us. This is the comment right here, okay?
It said, if they understood the fall of our ancient civilizations, they would know that integration is bad and ruins nations. Yeah, and I don't understand how we are not like even, it's like not even registering in our heads at all. I don't even understand why not. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy to me.
Okay, we know white people exist in Africa. That's not the point. The point is a white person was chosen to represent the...
Being so serious, and she went against a black woman in a black...
How's the Scented Angel stuff coming?
Oh, my bad.
To represent the country in contesting for Miss Universe. she is going to go off into the competition and step forward as Miss Zimbabwe. I have concerns about this. Talking about some, they are jealous because she's all natural. You're sick. You're sick. And I don't understand how white people have you in this chokehold. I pray you are released from the shackles of whatever sickness this is. For you to be so confident, to talk so lowly of Black women. What? Like, it is not the image that I wanted to see today.
Yes. Are we actually serious? I don't get the point. This is a competition where 5, 10, 15 people go in and the population vote who they like.
He said the population voted according to him.
I think that is how it is done.
What up, MG2?
They decided that she should be the winner because the people voted her. Then why all this insane noise I'm seeing on social media? When she started competing, nobody was saying anything. They were happy. They wanted to see how it will be done. I don't want to look who actually is carrying out the competitions. I understand the sentiment people always have because of skin color. But in this case, this is a clear sign to tell you one thing.
Matrix said making white anything a standard in a Black nation is horrible. It's like the white South Africans being the African American standard. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I can only repeat Barbara Sizemore. Like, damn it, we don't get it at all. But, you know, you hear it. It's like the population votes for this, you know what I'm saying? And they voted this white girl to be their woman king.
We are one. No matter where you are, if you still have that mentality like, just 1% of white people are in Zimbabwe, she should not be able to win this competition. It is insane. There are Black people who stood up because they like her and voted. Now this girl is all the Black men decided to vote her. That is not her problem. You choose her because you think she deserves it. It doesn't mean because, they didn't vote for other Black ladies, they are not beautiful. They are beautiful, but the people wanted her to represent, to see how she can govern that position. Telling me because she has to represent the whole country, this, that, it is insane. If you could start fighting that she should not even compete initially, okay, you don't even want her to compete. When she started competing, you were there laughing, doing videos. Like, I went through some of the TikTok account. Now look at what is going on social media. This is not only coming from people from Zimbabwe. It is just everywhere they are reacting to this. I have said this, and I will repeat myself. We cannot make the world a better place if we continue to have this mentality. Go to a place like South Africa, where you will see Black, white, you know.
Go to South Africa, or you'll see Black, white. You know what I'm saying? We can make everywhere like South Africa, y'all.
Where you will see Black, white, you know. You will not even be having this kind of thought. She was born in Zimbabwe. Because now, because of her skin color, she should not be able to compete because she's scared that if she stands and wins, you will tell a lot of stories about her. When you take a look at this article, Miss Universe Zimbabwe competition was held for the first time in 22 years on Saturday. However, the big...
Yeah, because it's hard to say because a white girl was the one holding the competition. So, yeah, the sad thing is Black people voting, if any did, do not understand they voted against themselves because of self-hate. You know what I'm saying? Because she lives in Zimbabwe, how could you say she's more of my brother than you or my sister or whatever they are?
win for the 21-year-old Zimbabwe native and mother has been met with mixed reactions online because she's a white woman representing the African nation. Critics say the young woman won the competition because she's white and that a black contestant should have been selected to represent the country where most of the population is black. All those beautiful melanated women, and you're telling me the European woman
Melanated.
won a contest for black people, said one user on TikTok. If you understand the war, you will understand how the system runs. That is not my pick. That is not my pick. Miss Zimbabwe, leave me the F alone with the stupid ass. I'm not supporting this at all. I'm not here to argue with any MF. Black people should learn to love and respect themselves. Stop sending a white girl to represent Zimbabwe. Other people defended Brooke victory. They argue that her triumph is well deserved. Point: Brooke deserved to win. She worked hard for that crown, and her work was so graceful. Her answer was powerful, short,
So
and
great.
precise. Well deserved. Congrats to her. If there is a positions that people use merit to get, I don't care who you are. If you get it
Oh man,
by merit, there is no problem. No matter
I don't care who you are. If you can marry a white bitch, then she's welcome to the tribe. You know what I'm saying? You could bring her in. Listen, if y'all have anything to say about that, because the rest of it is not long, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be off of here soon. But if y'all want to say anything about that, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm interested to hear if y'all got something to say. I'll put the link in. But yeah, he was like, yeah, no matter who you are, yeah, slavery and colonialism instilled in self-hate, instilled self-hate in all black people globally. You know what I'm saying? And who are we? Because if we can marry a white girl, then we can. That's why they always argue with me about when I be like, you know what I'm saying, to take two black parents, because they try to be like, oh, well, I can just do this with this white girl, you know what I'm saying? And she's black, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying? But according to y'all, she could give birth to a black kid, so I guess she can win Miss Zimbabwe at the least, you know what I'm saying? Now, the last thing I'm gonna show though, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, if y'all got an opinion or want to say something about that, you can come on. So the last thing I'm going to show is this, because I was like, you know, that reminded me of something, but then I also saw this, but this reminded me of something that I want to show. And then so they was talking about, you know, a black child got like a racist ass card for a birthday because they was talking about their black children, and then the same people wanted that child to go stay over there, you know.
Girl opening presents from her birthday party, and she's opening a card that was handmade by one of the white kids at the party. Take a look.
Yeah, what up, Anthony?
Hey, what's up, Forecast?
Not much. What's going on, my brother?
Man, I'm chilling, man. How you been doing, bro?
I'm good. Yo, you saw that, man, Miss Zimbabwe, my brother?
Yeah, man. Hey, man, I was like, man, that's mental side to the max, man. It's just straight up mental side, man. It's just something in our mind as black people, man. It's slavery and colonialism, man. You know what they did to us, man. It's the self-hate thing, like Miss Makers did it.
Yeah.
It's self-hate, man. It's a trip, man. It's a trip. I mean, I see it in my family all the time. Like some of my family members say some of the craziest stuff I ever heard, man. I'd be like, man, you really? But then again, you know, it's up to us to educate our people, man.
That's what I'm saying, my brother. It'd be like people in our family that be saying this stuff, and that's why I can't just be like throw them all away, because you know you love your family and stuff. But like, it's just crazy, man. Like,
man, let me tell you something. I said, it was last week. It was something when I mean, not last week, but it was when that September 11th jive came around, and my mom had called me and it said, well, you know, she was talking about September 11th, because I remember when it had happened, me and her was at home. And I was staying with my mom when it had happened that day. We seen with the planes and stuff. But she asked me about it, like when the memorial just came. I said, she said, "But Anthony, you going?" I said, "Mom, I don't give a damn about no America." You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was serious, but I was playing. And she said, she looked at me and said, "Anthony," she was so surprised. I said, "They got their issue." I said, "You know, they go around messing up, you know, killing people everywhere. And then when it come back to them, you know, they want to lay there like they're a victim." But you know, that's that self-hate, man. I mean, it's on different levels, but it's even in our family, in our people, man. It's terrible.
Man.
It's terrible, man. But yeah, man, it's something else, man. I'm just finally glad I made it on the show, man.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm glad you could finally get on here. You finally got it working. I'm glad, yo.
Yeah, I guess it might be my new phone, man. I don't know.
Yeah, but
yo, man, yeah. But I was gonna say, man, you do a great job, man. You know, I've been following you for a minute, man.
Yeah, you already know, my brother. Like, yeah. Like, I wish you could come on more because I know you got a whole lot of information to put out there. You know what I'm saying? But,
yeah, man.
But you're right though. You know, like my mom even called me racist for saying the stuff that I say. You know, like because she be like, "Oh, you need to go vote for Joe Biden and all this stuff," and I'm like, "Yo, for real?" Like, I even like tried to have a conversation like just on a normal basis. Like, look at the laundry list of things he's done and said and is. You know what I'm saying? They're like, "Oh no." So you know, we just gotta get Trump out of there. But like, this is like because I love my mom. You know what I'm saying? She's just a regular black person.
It's like you wish, you know, you want them to have the same level of consciousness you have, and you know, and they just ain't there yet, man. I mean, me and my family, we say that we be having discussions sometimes. Like some of my aunties, they all, you know, they come from the '60s. They was grown men and women in the '60s. And, you know, they was with the Martin Luther King. But I'm just saying, and they with that "we shall overcome" and that belief in America. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, it'll been 50, 60 years, man, and you know, it really ain't that much change. Yeah, you can go to their schools now, but hell, the education is terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, you can go, you know, they integrated a lot of stuff, but hell, you did that, y'all left behind all of the black stuff we built.
Yeah, that's the point though. Like that's why they let you go to their schools because you have black men being the teachers. You know what I'm saying? They can't have that.
It's a strategy, man. I mean, you know, I'm not a fan of Louis Farrakhan. I mean, because I you know, I had a bad experience with the Nation of Islam. I was in it when I was like 19. But I'm saying, like, I remember he had a debate. Him and Jesse Jackson then was at a State of the Black Union thing, and Jesse Jackson then was talking about how, yeah, you know, because of us and our struggle, how we got to integrate this, and now we can go here and go there. And Farrakhan said, you know what y'all did was y'all integrated white restaurants and all that stuff and closed down the black ones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was, and that was the strategy. Because like at that time, that's when black people was like fighting back. They was like, it wasn't the we turn the other cheek stuff. It was the Watts riot. It was the LA riot. It was the riots down in Louisiana. You know, riots in Virginia. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, man. I mean, they knew, man. The devil who we going against is shrewd, man. He's shrewd. He is very shrewd, man. He the slickest thing ever walked the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he know how to manipulate minds. You know, that whole divide and conquer thing, and having us, okay, well, we on this side and we on this side, and you know, I don't like you because you're a Muslim. I don't like you because you're a Christian, and I don't like you because you're one of them Hebrew Israelites. No, we in so many camps, and we can't come together over nothing, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, and that's why I try not to even be like with the ADOS, or because like to me it's like you could be like, I'm a Christian, I'm a NOI, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a American, I'm a Zimbabwean. At the end of the day, we like black people. We know that our children are in danger. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people can come here and like agree, even though it's a lot of different mindsets. Because I know that we can agree for a minute about that. It's just we go back to the tribalism all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what Malcolm X said, brother Malcolm said, when we come together to talk, man, put your religion in the closet.
Exactly.
You know, put your politics in the closet. You know, we rally around. We need to rally around one thing, man. Our race. We black. We black. I'm saying, and we trying to survive as black people. Exactly. That's what we need to rally around. Because we under attack, man. We've been under attack for 500 years. We've been under attack for 2,000. We the only ones don't know it.
The only ones in the world that don't know it. And that's what I was talking about, like, because that's the thing, is like you said, it's been like 700 years. How in the hell can this still be a white Miss Zimbabwean? But she also said, you know, the Zimbabweans said we need to shut the hell up, and you know what I'm saying.
But I mean, that's all, you know, like that's conditioning, man. You know, that's it's just like this, like what we said. Check this out, folks. Guys, remember when black folks on our Arsenio Hall show, remember talking about Bill Clinton, the first black president. You know what I'm saying? He one of the worst honkies that ever existed. You know what I'm saying? As far as black people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, them crime bills and all that stuff he did, and not to mention what he did down to them people in Haiti, man. Him and his wife.
What? Yeah.
You know, I mean, he the worst. He the worst of the worst. But black people love the hell out of him.
Yeah, he might have been the third black, because it was Abraham Lincoln. He was the first black president. Then it was JFK. He was the second black president, and then Bill Clinton was the third. Now Joe Biden.
And all three of them nothing but some devils, some racist devils.
All of them. Now Joe Biden, the fourth one.
Every president that has ever been, and hey, including the mulatto one, he's a devil too.
Especially, well, I ain't gonna say especially, but including, you're right, including.
I feel like, you know, I come from a Pan-Africanist, you know, thing, you know, black. I'm a Garveyite, but I'm saying this here: what that man did, all of the stuff that he did, he didn't start AFRICOM, but he sure pushed it further than all the other people did. You know what I'm saying? And he sure pushed that homosexual stuff and tried to push that in Africa. I mean, look how he tried to extort several African presidents, saying we're gonna cut off aid and all this here if y'all don't accept this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pitiful, man. You trying to push an agenda like that on Africa and on African people. You know what I'm saying? You don't see them going to the Middle East trying to push that shit. You know what I'm saying? But they want to push it on Africa. Then look here, and now what you got now? You go to different parts of Africa, they got gay liberation struggles now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What do you think about your boy Malema and what he was saying about that?
I mean, you know, it's like this here forecast. You know what? Malema, I respect. He say a lot of good things. I respect the good he say, but you know, you don't agree with everything. I don't agree with everything he say. I mean, it's, you know, it's just like we just got through talking. Now we all brothers and sisters, man, and when we come on panels and stuff, but we don't agree with everything each other say though.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But just because I don't agree with it, I mean, I ain't gonna. Well, you know, I ain't gonna throw you away. Like you said, I ain't gonna throw you away just because we don't agree. Because I don't agree. You know, I mean, I have to, but I feel like, well, we need to discuss that. You know what I'm saying? And we need to work it out. So you're gonna have problems. No, we're gonna have problems. We're gonna have disagreements, but we got to keep an eye on the prize.
Yeah, that's facts. That's all facts right there.
Yeah, you got to keep our eyes on the prize. So I mean, I hate. Look, I done been guilty of it, man. Because you know, I got a thing with those Abrahamic religions. You know, I can't stand it. But then I had to come back to myself. I mean, I hate the ideology, not the people.
Facts.
You know, the brothers and sisters with, I don't hate them. You know, I hate the ideology, but not them. You know, you just have to get that straight. That's why I said, man, I need to check myself, man. You know, because I mean, everybody don't have the same mindset I have. Don't have the same level of consciousness. And then there's some people who have more than me. They got to wait and I catch up with them.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I say this about you, like, you know, I think you're a genius, you know what I'm saying? That's why I want you to, because you have so much information. I think Matron is a genius too, you know what I'm saying?
Man, hey, man, look here. Hey, man, I remember when she, I still got this, it's archived, man, when she read that, the Rebirth of Civilization by Dr. Chancellor Williams. Man, I always listen to that, man.
Yeah.
I mean, she read that beautifully, man. It was incredible, man. I got big respect for that lady, man.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying. And this is why I be trying to stay away from all of that ADOS, and even with the like, because I'm gonna say something about a white bitch being crowned the woman king of Zimbabwe, you know what I'm saying? But like, I stay away from that ADOS conversation and stuff, because this is a part of tribalism. It's no different than a Christian or Israelite or
it ain't gonna do nothing but get you bogged down and just arguments, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just arguments. Because I mean, it's like Malcolm said. To me, that's all religion. Religion and politics the same thing to me.
Yeah, yo, because I don't know, because I listen to like pro black women people too. Like I don't know if you ever heard of this girl. I guess I shouldn't say her name, but like, because I don't got no problem with her or nothing. Like, but this girl Chrissy or whatever, and she's like one of those that be like pro black women. But then they also going against supporting black businesses. But the point is, if that's the case, like I would if you even limited to black women only, then go support black women businesses only. If you're ADOS, then go support black people in America. If you're Pan-African, then go support Pan-Africans. Ultimately, we're gonna have to support each other no matter what lane you're in. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta realize, man, this is what I say, man, like to some of the brothers and sisters like in the ADOS thing, the only thing that I try to, and I've talked to a couple of them, and some of them actually got a good head on the shoulder, man, and heart is in the right place. It's just, they go about one or two things, differently. But I'm saying like this here. Okay, we black people in America. Okay. We the same people who oppress Africans. I mean, like as far as colonialism, how the French was in Africa, the British was in Africa, the Portuguese and the Germans and all that. Well, guess what? Them same people was right here in America doing the same thing too. Hey, the British was in America for about 200 years. The French was here for about 200 years. The Spanish was here in the Southeast, like in Florida and Alabama. They was here, and they enslaved Africans too.
French, yeah.
Okay, so what I'm saying, those same people. So we'll talk about you from the French West Indies or you from West Africa or whatever. But the same people that oppressed them oppressed us. So we might as well get together, and come together and fight against all of them.
But it's crazy though. Like look at Haiti, because I was gonna show something about Haiti, because you hear a lot of stuff about the Dominican Republic right now too, and then their president is like a mulatto who's talking about colorism and stuff like that. But they're divided by the Spanish, and then they're divided by the French. You know what I'm saying? That's what divided them up as an island. You know what I'm saying? Like the sister who be talking about it, her name, it started with a B. I don't want to say her name wrong, but she talked about the Haitian thing and like how Dessalines was like talking about the whole island and not just parts of the island, but they get divided by like, what I'm saying?
Oh, you talk about I'm sorry, bro. You talk about Queen Mother Baina Bello?
Yeah. I knew you was gonna know the name, but yeah.
Great woman. Yeah, that's a great woman.
Well, yeah, that goes to what you're saying though. It's like, they divided by the French and the Spanish, and they be like, "Oh, I'm Dominican. I'm not black. I'm no black. I'm Dominican." You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, white. Like I said, that white devil was smart, man. He said, wherever he went and colonized, say the Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico or Cuba, he set up a racial caste system. Okay, now you got the Spanish, who are the Europeans at the top, and then under them you got the mulattoes. Or the mestizos. If you're in Mexico, it's going to be the mestizos, people who are mixed European and Indian blood. But if you're in a place like Cuba, it's where they killed all the Indians. So it's going to be the mulattoes. Those people are mixed Spanish and African blood. And so up under them, it's going to be the black people. So you got the Spanish Europeans at the top, you got the mulattoes in the middle, and then you got the Africans who ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? It's all over Latin America, man. That's what the deal is in the Dominican Republic. You got like a majority of the people have a lot of European ancestry. They got African in them, but they have more European in them than than African. And so that's the caste system. So if it's like how they used to say, if you black, get back.
Yeah, every brown stick around.
Right. Yeah, about the welding.
Yeah,
it's deep there. It's so much history in that whole Haitian Dominican Republic conflict, because there was times in their history where the Haitians had ran roughshod over them, had ruled them for a while. Yeah, I guess they were like, we ain't never letting them Negroes come over here no more.
Yeah, and then they say like racism is an American thing, but that's a completely false thing, because Like if you listen to the mindset of like Neanderthals or whatever you want to call them, they say colonizing space. You know what I'm saying? Not even exploring or look. They say colonizing space. That's the mentality that it comes with, and they have. Their Christians say manifest destiny, which means we could take your stuff and. Our Christians say, I love you and I forgive you. Can I please give this white girl a hug who just killed my brother? You know what I'm saying?
Man, that was pitiful, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know when I see that, I thought he was gonna sneak and hit her with close.
Yeah, right.
This big row here, boy.
Yeah, right. That boy was crying like, please. And he was like, he couldn't even say it.
If she'd have turned him down, he probably killed his dad.
It was like, I would have voted you, Miss Zimbabwe. Like, what the?
I mean, man, when have you ever seen the victim's family get a hug and the judge get a hug?
And the judge got off the stand and hugged her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what have you ever seen that? Where they do that at? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And between her and Betty Shelby, I don't know, like those two, you know, because she go around teaching officers how to get away with shootings pretty much, you know, because she's like she's like an instructor or something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was checking that out, man. I was like, man, boy, the menticide is real. It's just like, I mean, it is like I say, man, when you were showing that about the Zimbabwe thing. I mean, it's not, they got a menticide is in them just like it's in us. I mean, that colonization was just as bad as slavery as far as the mindset thing. You know what I'm saying? Not the physical part necessarily, but I mean, you know, the self-hate that it put in black people, man. So like I said, I mean, that's a worldwide wherever black people at, it's the self-hate. You know, the self-hate is there because you know the white folks are colonizers where we're at.
Yeah, and that's kind of the reason I called it like, who taught you? You know what I'm saying? If you know Malcolm X, who taught you hate yourself?
Who taught you to hate your black lips and you know what I'm saying? But see, that's the part. Like I remember, like I told you, because when I was young, I was kind of into the Nation of Islam. Okay, I mean, and so you know, many times we think of the white supremacist thing, we think of Europeans and Christianity, but the Arabs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the Arabs and Islam is a white supremacist thing, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, Arabs, white people too. They just white people with a tan, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I would grant them mulattoes, but I'm with you though. If you're not black, you white. You know what I'm saying? The mulattoes is white people.
But this is what I'm saying. Okay, now you go. Now you be in some countries where you know the Arabs and kind of mix with black people a little bit. But I mean, you go to Syria and Arabian Peninsula. I mean, you know, you'll see who the white and black are now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The black minority population in Saudi Arabia, man, they catch hell. Man, they catch hell, man. Them Arabs up, man. Them Arabs. You know what the name for a black person that an Arab use for a black person? It's Abid. It's Abid. And it means black and it means slave. Black and slave mean the same thing.
So like when black people go to the store, like Abib and all that stuff, it's like for a reason.
Just say that again.
You ever heard like black people go to the store and be like Abib and stuff like that?
Yeah, that might be something different.
Oh, okay.
But I know the word Abid, you know, it's spelled ABID, you know, and all across North Africa, you know, the so-called Middle East, anywhere where the Arabs live, and wherever black people live, they call black people Abid. Like in Morocco, you know what I'm saying? Mauritania, Libya was pitiful too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the Saudi Arabia, I got a friend who went on Hajj. You know, he a Muslim. He went on Hajj, and he was saying, man, you see how these people treat black people, man.
Hey, because I didn't show this, and I was going to like, because I wonder what you think about him. You know what I'm saying? Now, me, I'm like,
okay, just 1 minute. Let me finish say this right up before I beat up again.
My bad.
Okay, it was I was saying about how I fell out with the nation thing. Okay, I remember Minister Farrakhan had said this thing. He was talking about because it's all part of what they call his Hamitic myth. You know, about the myth of Ham and stuff. Okay, he was saying how the black man originally had our hair was long and curly, and like we didn't have big lips and all of those stuff there. You see, that's what made me fall out. Part of what made me fall out with him. And it was the fact that I say this brother is teaching Arabism. You know what I'm saying? He's teaching that's Arab racism. Coming from a long time ago, man. That like that Hamitic, because the Abrahamic religions all come from the Bible anyway. I mean, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, all of it. The Jews started that Hamitic myth stuff. You know what I'm saying? And the Arabs picked up on it, and that's where you get the hatred against black people from, coming from that, because they believe that black African people are cursed.
Yeah.
When he was talking about that messed up, that's what kind of turned me off a little bit. But go ahead, man. Go say what you was going to say. I just wanted to sneak that in.
No, you're right, because I remember that speech that you were talking about, and they do use all that stuff as a whatever, and I agree with what you say about the Arabs, and that's why I was saying about like with Gaddafi, you know what I'm saying. And keep in mind, I'm a black only person when we say this. I know some black people is down for
he was a North African John Brown. In other words, he wasn't shit neither.
Right. That's what. Hey, I didn't want to say it. You know what I'm saying.
He wasn't about shit. I know. Hey, look, I done had brothers who wanted to get into a fight with me over Gaddafi, over Castro. I say all over number John Brown, and no one of them about shit.
Yeah. Because John Brown definitely didn't exist. And
They just wanted you to support them so they could rule over you.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like, because they go all the way. The Moors usually talk about the dude, the Bacon's Rebellion. Like he was rich. He was a rich white boy who wanted to rule over you. He was the first John Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's all John Brown wanted to do. He wanted to start a revolution where he was going to be the king.
Exactly. That's why people don't understand this about this white savior. Like they gonna be your king. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we don't understand, because they agree that, well, okay, maybe we might be savages. It's just that I don't agree with slavery or today police shooting you down. But black people are savages. They do kill each other as if they aren't psychopaths who just slaughter. But anyway, because what I was gonna say, like, because Hillary Clinton, I was gonna show a video talking about. I was talking about Joe Biden too, but Hillary Clinton laughing because they had got Gaddafi killed or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and you know what? Even though let's say we could just, hey, I don't give a damn about Gaddafi, but I mean, you could just say just the simple fact that you laughing that somebody got brutally tortured and murdered. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, that you could sit back and laugh. That you could sit back and look at that and laugh at it. You know what I'm saying? They up there pulling the man hair all out to stuck a bayonet up his ass and shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who could look at it? I don't want to see that forecast.
Yeah.
I mean, damn what he did and what he stand for, but I don't want to see it. I can't sit there and watch it and laugh at it. Yeah. That lets you know that. I mean, that's the nature of the white man, of the white man and the white woman. They both the devil.
Yeah.
They both devil.
Man, white boys and white bitches, or white bitches and white bitches.
Both them devils, man. I mean, I'm not giving no pass to neither one of them. The white woman ain't bad. No, she's worse because she's talking.
Yeah. And that's the thing. They can literally like watch these things. Like, I don't like, because I know you remember when the internet first came up and they had like dark web kind of stuff, and it was like Europeans doing some sick, disgusting stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember those white, and they have money too. Like those white dudes beat that homeless dude up with a hammer and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I watch that stuff. They do stuff like that. That's their culture. Like, what you think they was in the woods out there doing all them years? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's hey, you remember that what's that I got that book, man. It was about the Iceman. What Dr. John Henry Clark was. It was a lecture he was talking about. But I had that book about the Iceman. But talk about the origins of the European man and their psychology and stuff, man. Hey, it's a sister. She passed a few years ago. She did a lecture on YouTube, man. Check it out when you get a chance. Her name's Dr. Patricia Newton.
Dr. Patricia Newton, okay.
Her name is Dr. Patricia Newton. Her and Dr. Francis Wells and them was all tight. But I mean, she did a lecture about white psychology, man. It was deep, man. I mean, she went back way back in the history, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. Hey, I was listening to that. I was like, damn, man. I mean, I thought I had heard a lot, but man, just check out her Dr. Patricia Newton.
Yeah, I gotta check that out because it makes sense. Like, if you think about it, like they was in cold, dark places where nothing grew.
Talk about all of it.
Like, you got to eat each other. Like the throwing the baby out with the bathwater is a real thing, you know what I'm saying? Like the neighbors, like they'll stab each other in the back to eat, you know what I'm saying? It became about survival for them, you know what I'm saying? It makes sense. I gotta check that out. But yo, let me go to the last thing, my brother. So
man, that's cool, man. I was just glad to finally get on, man.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear. That's why I wanted to chop it up with you for a little while. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna try to make time you and brother Bakari get on, but try to get on because y'all be having me rolling, man.
Nah, yeah, I'm glad you came on here. Now this is like okay, so we go off the Zimbabwe thing, right? But so this black child had a white friend come over, and this is the card
And
that she got a
she's
birthday
opening
card.
a card that
was rock.
one of the white kids at the party. Take a look.
Cool. Happy birthday, Shuri. Gorillas rock.
Like gorillas.
Gorillas rock. Gorillas rock.
So usually it's Disney birthday parties. Clearly the theme was not about gorillas. Yet this child made a handmade card, Gorillas Rock. And clearly her parents must have seen this card that was made. Frankly, they may even have helped her make it, helped her come up with the theme, sending a very clear message. I would have had these racist parents come and pick up their junior racist child in the making, and out of my house you go.
Yeah.
Because children often, child is black, white, brown, and these black people.
All right, so you know, you see that, and somebody in the comments reminded me of something, and they was like, the little girl should have did this, but this ain't nothing new. I ain't gonna play this, but you know, for Black History Month, they gave these clowns talking about like this monkey thing, you know what I'm saying, and all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and this is what happens when we go to their schools with them and have them as friends. And they was like, I don't know if you saw in that thing where the parent was like, yo, these parents asked to have my daughter over to their house to celebrate their birthday. And imagine if they did, like, you know, they sent their little girl over there. Who knows what would have happened to her, you know?
Yeah. But you know what's the ironic thing to me? The irony of before gas. Okay, how white people always use that gorilla, that monkey thing, like to throw at black people. And then and think about this: every time you go to an NBA game, what they got a gorilla slam dunking.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Got the man in the gorilla suit slam dunking and stuff. You know, that's that psychological stuff they try to play. But when you think about it, I mean, going back to their history, that's their origin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's their origin. You know what I'm saying? This they are what they look, Tarzan the Ape Man. You know what I'm saying? It's their origin. It's their origin, man. See, that's the thing about it. What I'm saying, how shrewd they is. They turn around and they know their origin, but they turn around and put that stuff on us.
Yeah. I mean, you can see who got the thin lips and the white skin. You shave a monkey down.
Looking like a rhesus monkey or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I mean, but you see how they the point I'm getting at, how they do the whole bait and switch thing. Yeah. They switch their stuff, that stuff that really came from them, and put it on us. Yeah. Because because they rule our mind.
Yeah, it's called projection. You know what I'm saying? It's a psychopathic trait. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that they do or whatever, and it's just the shame is we don't understand it. That's the issue, that we don't understand. And then we let it give us low self-esteem and all this stuff. And we talk about white friends at our parties. And MD2 in the chat said more wake-up calls are needed, like that birthday party. And it's just the one thing that scares me about that is like, damn, slavery wasn't a big enough wake-up call for us to understand. You know what I'm saying? We came out of slavery talking about them John Brown as our friend. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if slavery wasn't, Jim Crow should have been. You know what I mean?
Damn, lynching, right? I mean,
that's what I'm talking about. All of that terror, all that horror, you know what I'm saying? That should have been. But it's like, hey, you called the sister name what? Black folks still don't get it. Dr. Barbara Sizemore. Black folks still don't get it.
It's just, and it's unbelievable to me.
You don't want to get it. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to get it forecast. We got to call it what it is. I mean, when I say it, I mean, I'm saying in general, not, because you got a lot of brothers.
Go ahead and say it, because we all in it. Go ahead and say it. You ain't got to get no.
Like a friend of mine told me, he said, man, because me and him, we was talking about it. See, he kind of really not on the black lane. He is, but he not. But we was talking, man. He said, man, let me tell you something. Black people, we just some punks. We some goddamn punks. We some scary ass punks. That's all I'm saying. We owe a whole bunch of people ass whooping. We scared to give it to them. You know what I'm saying? You know why? Because we scared they gonna hit us back. You know what I'm saying?
And the crazy part is they've been like do more than hit you. They like.
I'm saying you've been getting your ass whooped for 5 years.
God damn! Like what else is there?
You gotta draw a line somewhere and say, man, it's freedom of death. Hey, in my state, man, back in 1811, they had these brothers down in New Orleans, man, brothers and sisters. They said, you know what, man, they didn't have nothing to fight. They had axes and pitchforks and hammers and whatever they didn't have no guns, but they got together and they said, man, it's freedom of death. Y'all just got to kill us. You know what I'm saying? It was a slave rebellion in New Orleans. They got killed. But you know what they said? They said, fuck it, I'm already in slavery. I'm already in hell already. What you can't do no more to me than you already done.
Yeah, you talking about the 1811 Louisiana.
Down on the German coast, yeah.
Yeah, they said liberty or death, you know what I'm
saying? That was their thing. They said it was like 500 of them. They were just marching. All they was chanting was liberty or death. Liberty or death. They said, hey, you can't kill me but one time, man. That's what we got to do, man. We got to find it. Man, just imagine. Now you see how like when they had to watch right now. I remember I remember the LA riots in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? If we could organize, we could have messed up some stuff. Now I'm not saying we were gonna get our ass whooped, but I'm saying, man, breaking in your own, destroying your own neighborhood ain't doing nothing, man. Destroying your own community, man. You gonna do something? Go and tear they shit up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go and hit them in the pocketbook where it hurt them. Yeah. But I'm just saying, we do stuff all out of pocket. We don't think about doing think straight doing stuff. If you gonna do something, man, let's do it for real.
Yeah, and it's a reactionary thing, and there's nothing wrong with reacting. It's just like organizing your reaction. And like, I mean, I get a part of it because they're like, we don't own these businesses in these communities either. You know what I'm saying? And it's like other people owning these businesses, but still, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm just saying, when you're gonna fight, if you know anything about a military strategy, I mean, you don't want to bring all that on your own, on your own land. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't talk about that. But I'm just saying, my main thing, what I'm saying is, we need to just say, fuck it, man, freedom of death. Y'all got to kill all of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because see, right now we ain't doing none of that. We ain't got that mindset. We just like want to be comfortable slaves on the plantation that we can be.
Yeah, that's the mindset. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, they always have perimeters to set up white neighborhoods, and it always went down in our neighborhoods where we get killed. You know what I'm saying?
You got to make up your mind whether you want to be free or a slave, man.
Yeah.
So you want to be free or slave, and we ain't never left the plantation, man. We ain't never left the plantation. The white boy said, man, y'all can leave. And we said, man, we ain't going nowhere.
I'm saying right here.
I'm playing right here with you, master. I don't want to go be free nowhere.
Who gonna feed me?
What matters is, where can I get better clothes than this? A better food than this? A better job than this? We ain't got no confidence in ourselves.
And the unfortunate thing, if you listen to the slave narratives, they was saying that, like, some of them was talking about, how we gonna eat now, and it was better when we was slaves and stuff like that. Some of them was like saying that, and it's a sad thing to see. But a lot of them was, unfortunately, was like, nah, like, they was talking about how they wanted them to die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, we gotta have that Nat Turner spirit, though.
Yeah.
Nat Turner said, "The hell with that."
Yeah,
you gotta kill me. See, that's our mindset, man. You gotta have a mindset, man. Y'all just got to kill me.
Yeah,
like that brother
anyway.
Yeah, like that brother in Dallas, man. Yeah. Man, like before they killed that brother, they set that thing in and blow him and kill him. He was saying like they were trying to talk to him, and he was saying they was actually, all kind of thing to get him surrender. And he, you know what he said? Man, what my people gonna think about do that? You know what I'm saying? He had this mindset thinking about us, man. You see, our thing is we think about just me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We individuals, man. We don't think about the group, man. About us as a group.
Yeah. Like, what can I get? Yeah.
And that's why we still on the plantation. Because you know what? Okay, I got my master gave me my little crumbs over here. You go get yours. Instead of us getting together and going to get a big old piece of the cake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, I was good. You ain't gonna mess this up for me now.
Yeah, for us.
We's good on the master. We got a good master, Master John Brown.
Yeah, master, we got a good house right here.
Well,
yeah, I was listening to that the other day, man. That Malcolm X his lecture about the house Negro and the field Negro. I was listening to it the other day.
Yeah.
He said, man, where can we go better that is better than this? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And
we got to get out.
Because they took us from the place that was better than this, you know what I'm saying, to come build this for them, But yo, let me play this last Jones, right? Because I want to show something positive. But first, this is just a high school thing, you know what I'm saying? Like,
go ahead,
high school and middle school student.
Tells CBS 2's Jennifer McLogan the troubling incident targeted kindergarten, first grade students and their parents.
The Riverhead school community is reeling following disclosure that 2 teen students here are being investigated for hurling racial slurs at local school children as young as 5 years old during a home high school football game September 9th. The innocent victims, say police, are great-grandchildren of Robert Bubby Brown.
I'm not looking for revenge on these kids because these kids got it from somewhere. It didn't grow. Nobody is born with hate in their system.
The superintendent says the 2 white students attend the middle and high school and allegedly began taunting the black family at this playground, then followed them in.
Would be subjected to the N-word in 2023.
We were all appalled by that, and we stand with your family. Everybody heard it, and it was not acceptable.
A letter has gone out to parents based on a review of the video footage from
to settle if people have been hurt, maybe even deeply.
The church community is offering a space for healing. So far, the students
now to this brother here,
revenge on these kids because these kids got it from somewhere.
Khalid Muhammad said the men, the women, the children, the babies. Why the babies? Because their babies is going to grow up and do the same thing, you know what I'm saying? And we all, like, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, this is a tough subject, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to accept the fact that the little, as you would call them, the little devils, you know what I'm saying? They are gonna grow up to be the big devils, you know what I'm saying? So
I just call them all collectively devils.
Right.
Hey man, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you good. What was you gonna say? I was gonna say what you want to say.
I was gonna say, man, I met Dr. Collard back in '91, man. I met Dr. Collard here in Shreveport. See, he's from Houston, and he has a son that lives here. Man, I'm friends with his son, one of his sons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually met him and shook hands with him, man. Showed back in 1991. Yeah,
that's what's
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was checking that lecture out too, man. We was on the Donahue show.
Yeah.
Yeah, be cracking up, man. But this is what I'm saying about that N word. I mean, man, look here. We got before. We gonna get angry or upset about the N word. We need to stop using it our damn self.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We need to stop using it ourselves. I mean, every look at all of the records now, man, hip hop records, whatever. But I mean, and especially with the sisters now, man. Nigga this, nigga that, nigga that. You know what I'm saying? They got a record by this chick, what's her name? I Candy, called "You Can Keep That Nigga." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, we use the damn word more than and make it acceptable for them, make it acceptable for them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we need to stop using it. They had back in the '60s. They had this brother in New York City, man, the Carlos Cooks and Alambe Bravnam. They had a movement to ban the word Negro. And then, you know, that's what people, it was the Black is Beautiful movement going on, man. That's why, everybody started saying black, you know. But they was trying to ban the word Negro. I think we need to have another movement to ban the word nigga. And in the first place, we need to start doing it is out the music. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you lay there, that's what I'm saying, Forecast. You lay there and let a rapper make a song and call somebody a kike. You know what I'm saying? Start talking about them Jews and stuff like that. Or talk about Dagos and all that stuff. Man, they would shut that down right there.
They already have.
You know what I'm saying? They'll shut that down right there. But as long as you can say nigga, you know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, go ahead on. They like that, you know. White kids feel cool saying nigga. You know, I'm my nigga.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, man. Before we get mad at the white folk, we need to get mad at our damn self first. Cause we say that shit more than anybody.
Yeah, and all right, so and MG2 and Hardcore came on here. Matron said, first, I would like to thank you, Anthony, is a whole problem that he's not seeking revenge. And secondly, is a whole problem he's not seeking revenge. We need to stop being so forgiving of these people.
Yeah, we forgive.
Yeah. So MG2 I think came on here first. What's going on, MG2?
Hey, Forecast.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I gotta get off, man. I gotta go do something. I'm gonna get back with you though.
All right, y'all. Thanks for coming on, bro. I'm glad you could come on too. All right. Yo, what's
up,
on,
Forecast? I enjoyed it thoroughly. Listening to you and Anthony, man. I'm definitely enjoying this. Yeah, I had a couple questions for him, but I know he had to make that run. One of the things that when you know, because you know, I beat up on black folk every day I get my chance. You know, I'll call us everything but a child of God. But in the long end of the game, it's not about what somebody says, it's about what they do. For me, I used to be, in terms of what individuals say, especially, you know, of course, you know, in order to go to war, you have to dehumanize your individual. That's why they called, you know, Vietnamese gooks, and they called, you know, Japanese nips, and, you know, and whatnot. So that is very important. But for me, at the end of the day, it comes down to when I hear these individuals, and it's an act of war, you know, whether it's at an innocuous birthday party for a child, it's still an act of war. Okay. And the thing is, I'm glad that they did that the Anglo did what they did at that party, because now not only does the parent have a wake up call, but so does the child. Remember, when a white male becomes 16, you know, or actually when they become 13, their clan past, for lack of a better term, their so-called grandparents, they'll sit back and tell them, yeah, we know you had fun with Leroy and Tyrell and whatnot as children, but you're 13 now, and we're going to teach you the ways of the world. And the first thing is they'll put a gun in his hand, and that gun in his hand is not to go out and shoot squirrels. They know exactly what military or what fight is. They know what self-preservation and survival is all about. It's that simple. They know survival. The thing is, for our folks, is, you know, and I'm subjected to that when I was a child. You know, after a while, it was kumbaya until all of a sudden I started getting in fights. Then it was like, oh, okay, now, you know, we did not have that kind of foundation, you know, at that time. And so hopefully this child, you know, he got a very early way of seeing what war really is. I don't mind when these Peckerwoods sit back and say, you know, spirit chucker, porch monkey, what else have I been called? Everything, you name it, gorilla, you name it. Because the thing is I love when they do that. Matter of fact, I demand them do that. Because I'm not here to go ahead and find a friend and somebody that I can, you know, hold hands and sing kumbaya. I did it in my past, okay? I did it when I was a Negro and didn't know that. But now I've come to the realization that the more and more that I know that somebody is definitely doing that, the more and more I know how to compete. The more and more it makes me want to compete. The more and more it makes me say, yeah, okay, great. You know, I'm glad that, you know, you laid your cards on the table for me. Now, how am I going to go ahead and compete against you? A lot of our folk brother forecasts get bent out of shape because of the skunk stinks. Whites doing, or these Peckerwoods doing what they do, and ain't no different than a skunk that stinks. It's doing what is natural. And for a lot of our folks to get, whether it was the young child that didn't get a medal at a little gymnastics thing or whatever that was, you know, a lot of our folks get bent out of shape, and look how racist these folks are. That is what they're supposed to do. I'm not here to go ahead and make the sun rise in the west. Okay, I'm not here to analyze why the sun rose in the west to try to get, no, sun rises in the east and it sets in the west, as far as I've known for the last billion years. So the thing is for an animal like those two-legged Caucasians to do what, those species that do what they do, is just like water being wet. And I love that. The thing is it's our folk that don't realize it and say, wait a minute, actually we should be thanking them. Because it's, anybody that gives me a wake-up call when there's a train coming in front of me and I'm sleeping on the tracks, I'm gonna sit back and thank you, because it's just common sense. What they did, I see no problem in what they do. I see a problem in us not recognizing that that's what's natural to them, and what should be natural to us is cutting their throats. What should be natural to us is terrorism. What should be, or what they thought, what that so-called determination, that so-called word or statement they call terrorism. What should be natural to us is exploiting them, marginalizing them, competing against them. Unfortunately, because of the fact that we have this humanity, we've got this altruism about us. We're always looking and seeing other species. You guys call races, I call them species. We look at them as if we're looking at ourselves, but yet we look at ourselves as if we're looking at one of them. We're the foreigners to each other, but not them. I said it many a time before, every other race on this planet is more Pan-African than we are, because to all these other races, we ain't nothing but a bunch of N-words. Unfortunately, and you and Brother Anthony brought it up, unfortunately to each other, we're no different. We're a bunch of N-words. So the thing is it's just one of those things, Brother Forecast, that we should start reveling in the fact that our enemy is clearly letting us know, hey, we are competing against you, we're your enemy. We'll call you, moon cricket. We'll call you spirit chucker. We'll call you N-word. We'll call you monkey, gorilla, chimp, or whatever. And I thank you guys for doing that to me, because I'm not here to find a friend. I'm here to go ahead and take care of business, and that's taking over the world, hopefully. So I'll pass the mic there, Brother Forecast.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I agree with you, MD2. Hardcore, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, what's going on? I actually agree with most of what he had to say. And I also have to say, I think a lot of these stunts, I believe they are stunts, and I believe it's for social engineering, and I hope it's for the purposes of preparing reparations. Because if it's not, then why do we continue to do the same things over and over again? Because you notice that the recurring themes when Black people either get attacked or stunts are made for attack, it's always, I forgive the other people. They've been taught, as opposed that they're just plain old haters and vicious individuals. But of course, when Black people do crime, it's Black on Black crime. The Black guys are evil. It's cultural, because you look at a lot of these comments on YouTube. It's cultural. It's the typical people, usual suspects, code language like that. And what can we do about this kind of thing, except that we got to ask ourselves, when these events happen, especially where they happen at, is it feasible for this to happen in real life? Because I have to admit, in my adult life, nobody ever called me a nigger. Maybe it's because of my size, I don't know. But the only racist stuff I experienced, like I told you about that event with the post office with that Chinese guy, that still gets at me. But in my building, I go to the gym. You can have some East Indians and some white people in the middle of a workout. I come in there, start doing my thing. All of a sudden, they got to quit and walk out. And one time, the last time, and one of them was muscular. One time, one guy quit, walked out. I went to the other gym because they got it split between the weights and the cardio. I went in. I just went to get my mail. And then the guy went back to the weight gym. I said, ain't this some shit? I feel like I'm in the goddamn 1930s, 1940s or something. I don't get it. What do they think is going to happen? They're going to get robbed in the gym, or beat down. I mean, what the hell? I just don't get it. But I know one thing: that N-word ain't coming out nobody's mouth. That's for sure. So, we got to stop this soft stuff. I don't know what the point is, but you would think that in 2023, we would see some progress, even from the Freemasons who pull stunts, that we would see some kind of progress because everybody else is benefiting but us off of whatever it is, this new world, this one world peace stuff. It doesn't seem to be coming our way, regardless of what the so-called long-term plan may or may not be. But God damn it, we need some short-term plans because everybody else got short-term plans. And I keep seeing Mexicans all over the place and cops being Mexicans. We better wake up before we can't wake up. I'm done.
All right, and I feel what you're saying, and I would say like even when I would be glad if they leave when I'm working out, like, yeah, get out of here. But they follow you in stores, they'll be like, yo, show me where this is at, you know what I'm saying? Just different stuff like that. But let me do this before I show the last thing before I close it out, because this is what like me and Anthony kind of started off talking about. This is what I was kind of talking about today, let me see. Yeah, so I was talking about Joe Biden. I don't know if y'all saw that earlier.
They echo what my dad taught me, and I mean this sincerely. My dad used to say, everyone.
Oh no, it's the wrong thing. He was talking to the Hispanics, and he confused them with talking to the black people. But this is what he was saying to black people with LL Cool J.
Breaking legacy of hip hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's an MC Light. Both of you, thank you.
So, people was like mad that he called him boy. He was like, that boy's got this and that, and then we was also talking about this, right? Miss Zimbabwe was the white.
The country is participating. Yes, who got really upset about this, despite the fact that Zimbabwe is made up of millions and millions of people. Black people only compose 2% of their massive population. Fire simply for winning and being.
So, MG2, what do you think about those things there?
You would never have seen that happen if Robert Mugabe was still alive. That would never materialize in Zimbabwe. In terms of Joe Biden and his anyone at this late stage of the game just doesn't get it in terms of our competitors. I always call them our competitors because we like sports. I could say our enemy, but we get very emotional. Yeah, that's my enemy, man. Wait, man, the devil. I mean, that's like water being wet. The thing is our competitors are going to do what they have to do, whether it's dehumanize us, not know who we are, whatever. And I really don't care. All Joe Biden is employee of the month of this flea market called the United Snakes. And he's doing everything he can to maintain the status quo. No different than the other employees of the month, Trump, Biden, or Trump, Obama, Clinton, Nixon, Carter, Ford, Bush. The thing is, there, Brother Forecast, is I don't look at them as saviors or anything except for how can I exploit or use them. And to use them for the folks that are very knowledgeable and want to go ahead and take over this planet, i.e. black folk, hopefully. When it comes down to this, the thing in Zimbabwe, that's menticide, as Brother Anthony was saying earlier. That's pure and simple. Okay, and it's unfortunate. The ones who even suffer the more of the menticide are the ones who are even throwing up their fists the highest, saying, Hotep, I'm pro-black, pro this and that and the other, because they'll be the last to jump into the mix of a fight or a race war. They'll go ahead and pontificate and talk about the other folks that have done it, like my brother in Dallas that I'm still talking about. Okay, the thing is, and I got to be real with you. Okay, it's another form of menticide. The ones who are usually, I was talking to a sister from Jamaica earlier today. The ones who are more prone to fight are the ones who probably have never even heard of Dr. John Henrik Clarke. But if they see something happen wrong, they're gonna get in the mix, just because it's instinctual for them and it's not something to lecture about. That's just, it's no different. I had to go on that tangent for a reason, is because When I go ahead and watch these things of whether it's Joe Biden or anyone else of our competitors doing what they do, I'm not at the aspect of censoring them and how dare they, and this is racist and how could they, this and that. I'm at the thing of that individual that isn't quote unquote pro-black, that just sees something that's out of balance. I'm at that mindset of saying, wait a minute, ain't that a B? That's their mindset, and so they'll go ahead and be more prone to doing something about it. So when I see Joe Biden doing what he's doing, a matter of fact, at that event that Joe Biden was, if it was a national Hispanic event, which it usually is in October, because this is so-called Hispanic month, I actually had to work that as a performer in 2016 and Joe Biden and Obama were there, and I'm up there, doing the same, the same thing that you saw over there. I was there 2 or 3 years ago. So the thing is, to me, it means nothing. Okay, it's just okay. That's their world, their thing. He's trying to identify and get black votes, whatever foolishness is going on. My thing, Brother Forecast, is more important that the ones who are not quote unquote throwing their fist in the air, the black folks on the street that don't know anything, are unconscious or whatever else. My thing is like, and their mindset or anyone else's mindset who wants to take over, my thing is like, how can I exploit that bastard Joe Biden? How can I go ahead and talk to the Zimbabweans who need to go ahead and cleanse the thing out? Not because I want to get on YouTube or social media and talk about it, only because it's the right thing to do. I'll pass the mic, Brother Forecast.
Yeah, definitely. And shouts out to Raw in the building. Go ahead, Harco.
Yeah, I think I know you may not like this again, but these are stunts, Hollywood stunts, political stunts. With him calling a grown man, I think LL Cool J is like 55, 56 years old, calling him boy. You notice when he was so-called running for president last time, there were a lot of anti-black insults between him and his Indian, Jamaican, Canadian, British subject, so-called vice president. And people still pretend to vote, and they still play us to this day. But LL Cool J, he did something with that country rapper years ago. So if you notice with all these celebrities, something keeps happening to put them in the news when they don't have any acting jobs or any music or movie. It's controversy. And this keeps them in. Snoop Dogg stays in effect with the Corona commercials. If he hadn't made his deal with the devil years ago, he should have been played out before the 90s ended, truth be told. But he can go to the White House. Rappers going to the White House because they're all a part of the brainwashing culture. But, it is what it is. It'll never end. But I hope it ends sometime because I'm really tired of it, because I'm like, okay, this type of thing has been happening from the beginning of my life until now. I mean, am I going to die and it still remains the same? And then if we're still around, other people come and experience the same thing. Well, I mean, what's the deal with this? But as far as the Zimbabwe thing, quiet as it's kept, that type of thing's been going on in Africa for a while, especially in South Africa, of course. And of course, North Africa. But in Nigeria and other places, so it's not a shock. Africans, like I said, I dated several Africans, and they all said whoever is in Africa is an African, and they don't care how they got there. They don't care how long or how little they've been there. They don't care if they're black or white or so-called Arab. They said that they're African. And once we start realizing that's how Africans think, now, I'm not trying to go into another territory, but I'm just saying that we can wake up to the realities of why certain ideologies can't exist, because the main people don't see it in that kind of way. They support the people that we don't approve of. So I don't know what it's going to take for them to wake up. Now you got this thing where Somalis, this big thing where Somalis are saying they're not black, and then you got the girl with the brick. That was another stunt. I knew that was a stunt too. She just happened to be a Somali. And like I was on this other show, I was watching that latest Indiana Jones. They had a African lady playing a black woman, calling people crackers. I think this is sick. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if we're getting rubbed out, being prepared to get rubbed out or what. But if we get wiped out, and I said this before, everybody else is going to bow down and fall in line because basically they're that way anyway. I'm done.
All right, so yeah, I'm not even gonna but look, I understand to a degree, you know what I'm saying, but this is, you can't act like this isn't a global phenomenon in the Caribbean and America, you know what I'm saying, in Africa, you know what I'm saying. We have this mindset, but speaking of the little black girl with the postcard, somebody left a comment about like how it should be handled. So this is the last thing I'm gonna show, you know what I'm saying, just these couple joints real quick, you know what I'm saying, because I was trying to find it, but I saw all of them. And she, like, with the Miss Zimbabwe tried to run up and then smack him, but then the white knight tried to run up, you know what I'm saying? And he made sure that it happened in class, you know what I'm saying?
I gotta admit that fight looked staged and phony.
Yeah, I bet everything is staged and
Now
phony.
play that slap back. Did he connect?
Oh, you didn't see, you talking about with the girl or whatever? You can't run it back.
Look, there ain't no punches, that's touches.
Come on, like, all right. Because I ain't, you gotta start it over. But it's other ones you probably.
Think my card is that way.
All right, so this girl, she got suspended though, and the white boy got nothing.
Think my card is that way.
Let me see. Oh yeah. So these comments was just interesting, you know what I'm saying? But it's like with the girl, they was like, he's like, it's calling these little girls not human and like chimpanzees and all this other stuff. These little white girls. It's like, he set her up.
All this is going down. More and more mixed people keep walking the streets and playing sports. I don't know how it's possible.
Because y'all keep calling them black. But anyway, I don't know what that got nothing to do with it. Because y'all give excuses to these white bitches who produce these things, you know what I'm saying? All right, and this is the one that somebody brought up, you know what I'm saying? How does a young child handle it, you know what I'm saying? How we should probably handle it.
Then why did you say that we stink? Bro, you really how we dirty? Punch me right in the fucking face.
All right, yo, MD2, what you guys to say about that?
Yeah, I like to see our folks get some rec time in. It's great. I was working out earlier today. Pretty good workout. Video didn't post it, unfortunately, but the thing is I saw the brothers and sisters that are over there at the park, just enjoying themselves, and a lot of olders as well. I saw them putting on the gloves today, and they were out there, boxing and getting their own little matches in. Mostly the young folks and the sisters were the ones that had the gloves on. The brothers were kind of watching, which is kind of remarkable. And what you saw right here is, unfortunately, it's being published, and it's women that are actually, the ones that are putting in that work. I would love to see a lot more things of publishing of brothers putting in that work, against cops, against, their government, against their so-called banks. I'd like to see brothers being, instead of being scared, trying to rationalize why we shouldn't be fighting them. I would like to see us start putting in that work like these young, these young sisters are doing, because clearly it's very effective for them. Okay, clearly there's, I would like to see Dante Wilder put in that work for once against, what's his name, Fury or whatever, Tyson Fury. I would love to see that. But I do like to see our folks getting some rec time in, because a lot of us have been too, basically in a form of stasis. We've been kind of inert, hanging out, getting on social media, talking about this, that, and the other. And, when I say rec time, I'm talking fights. I'd like to see more and more of us start to get, getting a little bit more of that, that frustration out, for lack of a better term. When Brother Hardcore brought something up earlier about these East Indians, I've traveled the world, filled up at least 10 or 12 passports. I mean, so many passports, it's unreal, over the last, 30, 40 years. And the thing is I've encountered East Indians everywhere I go. And it's like breathing. I expect them to be my enemy. It's like breathing. At first I was like, oh, these folks, okay, they must not like this and that. But no, I expect nowadays I expect young sisters to go up and beat on any peckerwood that they see, because that's just natural. If you see the fact that we're constantly not only at war, but it's just a fact of either somebody else is going to breathe, somebody else is going to eat, or it'll be black folks. One of us is going to eat, one of us is not going to eat. And I'm very hungry a lot of the time, so I'm not going to let some other peckerwood take what I think that we should have, just because it's just common sense. I don't want to starve, just like I don't think you should want to starve. So the thing is, Brother Forecast, when I watch this and I see a natural thing. This is nothing. Of course, it makes you feel good. That's great. We see sisters out there putting in that work, beating up on white boys. Hey, that makes us feel good. Okay, I'm valid. But the thing is, it's more important to go ahead and do it yourself. It's more important to, oh man, if they catch me, man, I'll get a case if I do this and that. That's fear. That's cowardice. Put in that work. There ain't nothing wrong with putting in that work. Okay, I mean, that's just the natural fact of life. A lot of us put in that work with our mouths. We romanticize about, what scholars have done and whatever, this and that. We romanticize about what, real folks like Mackay Johnson and Gavin Long have done, Mark Essex, Colin Ferguson. Well, of course, that's fun. But the bottom line is you're still not about that life. And even worse, you're even more enforcing the ones that are doing us wrong. I have more respect for those young children that are putting in that work in rec time, putting some hands on folks, than I do damn near 100% of the black folks that talk about, including myself, that talk about these folks that are actually doing what's natural. And I said, including myself. I'll pass the mic.
Yeah, thanks. I agree with you. Go ahead, Arco.
Yeah, I agree with MG too. And also, yeah, it's good to see you gotta respond, because that's the only way to get people to think about what they say before they say it. Like I always tell the story, when I was about 7, 8 years old, I was in this store. This girl and her brother, I think the girl was about 16 years old. They were buying store brand cookies, Pathmark, if anybody remembers that store. And I said, damn, they must be poor. I saw her kind of turn around to hear, but she didn't say anything. But we went out, bought our stuff, went outside, and she was out there waiting. I knew it couldn't be good. So she said, what'd you say about us in the store? I said, I didn't say nothing. She said, I heard what you said. And then before I could respond again, I got the fire slapped out of me. And to this day, I never forgot about that. Don't talk shit to strangers. That's the lesson I learned. So, and then these kids, that's a lesson they got to learn. So, I mean, once you think you can just look down on people and talk about them because you think that they're lower than you are. But then when they lower the boom on you, you got to think about it. Think about it real hard. And it's funny also, it reminds me of when I used to have, when I was a little kid, used to have neighborhood battles with these Italians because you could tell they ain't like black people, especially the parents. I mean, I got stories to tell us for days with these Italians. If you had one named Rocky, we used to have rock fights and stuff, busting windows out. It was crazy. But that's what that reminded me of. And you have to protect yourself. And if you want to show black people respect by the various means that black people do it to each other, you should be doing it to other people too. I'm done.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that too. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I appreciate what both of y'all said, you know, and that's the thing. These young children understand what time it is, you know, and it's time for us to understand what time it is, because unfortunately, a lot of us is lost in the sauce, and we are practicing that cowardice mindset, and that's us as a collective. And I always include myself too, you know what I'm saying? Like, because at the end of the day, like if you see something, like, are you, like, at the very least, like, pull your phone out and record, but you should be really pulling them apart, not letting them kill somebody, you know what I'm saying? But we just get scared because what they gonna do, you know? But anyway, so we're gonna close out. MG2, like, yeah, you want to close out, you know, you go and take as long as you want, you know, say anything you want to say.
Yeah, I want to thank you there, Brother Forecast, you know, for as always, for your panel. You know, I mean, you know, I'm just a big proponent of, because I've seen it for decades. Many of you guys are much younger than I am, so I've seen it, I mean, for at least since probably the late 70s. And I don't expect anyone to do what I do. I'm a hothead. I get into a lot of quote unquote trouble. Okay, no matter what it is. All right. I don't care whether I have one arm, two arm, can't see, can't walk, or whatever. That's just my nature. If I see something wrong, I got to make it right. So I don't expect anyone to follow that path, because to me, it's just instinct nowadays. Before, it was used to be, you know, pump my fist, beat my chest, and talk about, yeah, we're going to got it, and I'm black power, whatever. But nowadays, as I gotten older, much, much older, to me, it's just natural. Okay. And a lot of folks would call it hot-headed. I just call it rejecting cowardice. Okay, and I have to say that because a lot of our folks, if it weren't for social media, we'd probably be out there with flyers or getting on the phone talking about what other folks have done to us. You know, those of us who don't go to lectures, you know, in Harlem and talk about nothing, we'd be, you know, sitting down, yeah, man, you seen what they did to, yeah, you seen. So, you know, social media gives us this so-called platform that someone else owns and controls, because we don't, to go ahead and explain why somebody is doing us wrong. You know, the same individuals that provide this format. You know, again, I always call it one foot in heaven and one foot in hell. We could go ahead and talk about what these folks are doing, what they've done, what they intend to do, and what, you know, how bad things are, our relationship with them or whatever. But we still go to them for water, for medical care, for food, for protection, for transportation. We still have to go to their institutions, unfortunately, and actually pay them for the privilege of us going ahead and live within their so-called society. That's about as plain as a goat's ass going up the hill backwards. You cannot undo that, especially if you live in a place that you need water and heat. Okay, you know, we can talk all we want and romanticize about all the scholars and the freedom fighters and everything we want. But at the bottom of at the end of the day, every time you turn on that light, when you get on your so-called computer somebody else made, you're paying them. Okay, you're giving that 8 hours of time you spend at a job to them. Okay, and I'm talking them that you complain about. 1 foot in heaven and 1 foot in hell. The bottom line is, Brother Forecast, and I love to do that because, you know, sometimes you have to inject a point of realism into what our mindsets, even if it's our conversations. A point of, like I call the record, not just facts, but this is the record. The thing is these individuals will continue to do what they do as long as we rely on them to do what they do for us to survive. And the only way to break that pattern is to start saying, like I said, the most two important words black folk can do is say, I quit. And I'm not just talking your jobs. I'm not saying, you know, go ahead and, you know, clock out tomorrow and say, no, I don't want this. What I'm saying is I quit, is I quit. But when I say quit putting the time and energy in the things that are not productive, quit putting time and energy into individual situations that are going to keep you on that treadmill. You know, create something that'll break you from the chains of who they are, whether it's how you secure yourself, how you eat, Even if you live in an apartment, you can grow tomatoes. Start to think, how can I break those chains of those folks that I rely on, that I'm constantly complaining about or doing videos about or live streams about? What can I do? What skill do I have? What trade do I have? What's something that I can learn that I can go ahead and make sure that I'm gonna rely on that thing to break those chains of these folks that every time I turn on my light and I see that light come on, well, I can barely see, but every time it comes on, I know that somebody that looks like me did not get they got my money. Somebody that looks like me that owns the power plants, that doesn't look like me, that owns those power plants, got the reward of my labor for years and years of working for someone else or doing something else. And that's unfortunate treadmill that we Black folks have been on forever. The thing is whatever you do in life, everything you do, I don't care if it's wiping your nose, I don't care if it's picking your nose, I don't care if it's burping, eating, walking down the street, working out, I don't care what it is. It should be something that will break those chains. Something that you can learn from it, so therefore you are not subjected to these bastards and have to continue complain about the things and the individuals that own and control everything we do and everything we're gonna do, and unfortunately everything we've done. The thing is it reminds me of the movie Mommy Dearest, and Joan Collins, or Faye Dunaway, who played the Joan Collins, when her daughter was walking away in this act of complete disobedience, and she says must your every step, because she told the daughter to do something and the daughter didn't do it, and was just kind of very obstinate and just really testing, and that that Joan Collins sat back and says, must everything you do be like an act of resistance or an act of something? It's like, look, even walking down the street, it should be an act of resistance or an act of war. Like I said, if you have to go in and spit on the street, it should be an act of war. If you have to sign a check over to someone, it should be an act of war. Everything in your mindset, when I say an act of war, is not pumping up your fist saying, oh, I'm pro-Black, Hotep, man, this, that. What I'm saying is an act of war is realizing that, hey, everything that I do has to be something to project me to never rely on these individuals for anything ever again. I don't care what it is, but to start working toward what folks are, that unicorn that we always talk about called independence, that we'll never achieve because all we're doing is talking about it. Every act, whether you're in line at the store, whether you have to kill some cops, whether you have to kill Joe Biden, every goddamn act is an act of war to make sure that you are independent. And not just for freedom's sake and all that other code words and everything else. I'm talking about taking over the goddamn planet. In other words, I said, all others must fall. I've been telling folks that if you're not Black, you gotta fall. We should have the mindset that anything that does not look like us should be looking like, it should be the same parallel as sidewalk or tiles on the street. That you're walking on the bodies of your enemy to walk down so your shoes don't get dirty. That's the mindset of war. That's the mindset of people that want to conquer. But the mindset of people that want to continue to be the slaves and then complain about the slave master who's providing them food, kind of like that movie, the Jones Plantation. It's unfortunate, as I've said. No, that hook-nosed bagel-eating Einstein said it best. He said, insanity is repeating the same thing over and over and not calling it different, or is repeating the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That is insanity. But unfortunately, Brother Forecast, we've subscribed to a whole different version of insanity. We as African, as Black folks, as Indigenous, whatever we want to call ourselves this month, this week, or next Tuesday, we continually to complain and to rationalize and debate the same things over and over and over and not calling it Black folk. Thanks a lot there, Brother Forecast. Always good to see you, and you guys take care.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on, MD2. Y'all subscribe to MD2 channel. Thank you for coming through. Go ahead, Hardcore, your last statement.
All right, MG2. Yeah, my man got some hardcore views there. But I think before we get into action, I keep running into a lot of Black people. Some people about to disagree with what I'm about to say. Smell like weed all the time. You can't get into any type of clear judgment when you have a dependency. And that's only the weed part, but it's just kind of annoying too that Black people always smell like weed, going on job interviews, smell like weed. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So you got to get that under control. Umar Johnson made a video talking about stop talking, and start doing. And I said to myself, he's the main talker. He's not doing anything. He needs to start doing. Open that school or prove that you have the credentials that you have, and stop saying that you have a resume, but yet you don't show and prove that resume. I know it sounds like I'm going on Umar Johnson, but I'm just saying. He says he has a track record. We don't get to see this. We don't know what he's done. He just tells us. We have to take his word for it, but we never see it. We got to stop talking and start doing. I always say this: you just get off the drugs, get an education, and that could be formal or it could be technical. Start building with your family first. If you don't get along with them, your most trusted friends, then their friends, your neighborhood, that you can get things going. But whatever you do, you have to have a network that people can buy into and benefit from. In other words, you have to have a viable system. That's what East Indians, that's what the Asians do. That's even what the Hispanics do. And Italians definitely do that with the mafia. You know, the small hats do it. We don't have anything that we could benefit from because we're divided between Uncle Toms, thug types, and in-betweeners. And they're all operating on their own in their own worlds, and they're not sharing. You must share. If you look at other groups, what they do is they have a pecking order. They keep importing their people from their mother countries. The people come in, they start on the bottom, and they know that's where they have to start at. And they don't mind that because they know somebody is hooking them up. And they will eventually move up, and somebody will come in and take their place and start the whole process all over again. And they'll get PhDs and dominate the tech world. And then they will make sure that nobody else gets in to the segments that they take over. Hotels, cigar shops, gas stations, 7-Elevens, now the Popeyes, Dunkin' Donuts. What do we have? Italians have pizza places, Italian food spots, frozen Italian foods. Jamaicans got Jamaican food. Anybody else that's making any other kind of food, people, I guess they're not into that cuisine. Ethiopians got their food. We have the so-called soul food and some southern food, but we don't control any of these things. You have to control what you have, and really by any means necessary. And then we could build that way. You just got to set a foundation. We got to stop talking and we're weeding it out all the time. You can't concentrate, and you're controlled by the weed. And I'm going to leave with this. If you watch the first 48, because people who smoke weed a lot, they say weed does not cause people to kill. It doesn't cause accidents. But yet, if you watch the first 48 and you see those black triple homicides and double homicides, it's not over crack cocaine. It's not over powder cocaine. It's over weed. You got to get that under control first. Because like I always say, I am not taking orders from a drug addict. I'm done.
All right. And I'll say this, right? Because even though you said what MG2 said was extreme, like all of those other groups do that. They put their own, because they walking over our dead bodies to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, their shoes don't get clean. It's not, I wouldn't say it's an extreme thing. And when we like, and that's the thing, like when we say like, what are we going to do? Because if we spend time complaining, or like, even that's why I try not to use even this thing here other than like try to learn lessons, or like as far as like what's going on, or like things I think that I want to talk about, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to talk about negative about other, because that's been done. Like, that's what these platforms are designed for us to go at each other. And instead of doing that, then I'm going to try to do something positive myself to replace that. You know what I'm saying? And that goes on here, the real world, every aspect of life, like y'all both are saying, with any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, until you have control over everything, because it don't matter what we saying. If you have children going to their schools, we can complain about critical race theory, you know what I'm saying? But they're still learning, like Christopher Columbus discovered America. They're not learning about the true history of Black people in America, Black people globally, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or the history of the Europeans, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not even going to the school to make your presence felt, then we wasting time by complaining about the young brother because of his hair or because of CRT or anything like that. We ain't gonna do it ourselves, you know what I'm saying? So that's our responsibility as a whole, you know what I'm saying? So like, before we could go in on anybody else, we gotta like be saying, what am I doing? And then we'll be more preoccupied to like trying to work for the positive or whatever you're trying to do. Like I said before, like I listen to Black women only, and they'll go against. But if you're gonna do that, then you're gonna have to support Black women businesses. If you for Black people in America only, then support the Black people in America who's doing something. If you Pan-African, then support all of them. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like when we act on this division stuff, and then even when we go internally, like it's like Angles say they talk, because we always practice this tribalism. We never learn how to get over it. But who taught us these methods to go at each other, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. So, but I appreciate y'all for coming on here. Shouts out to, MG2, you good?
Oh, yeah, always good. I mean, it's about, like I always say, either you're talking about something or you're going all in. And how many folks are prepared to go all in? Clearly, none of us at this point, because we're still talking. Thanks a lot there, Brother Forecast.
Yeah, facts. Hardcore, you good?
Yep. Peace out.
All right. Yeah. And so shouts out to Raw in the building. She said they controlled by your money and material things. That's why we keep going through the same thing. Most can't learn from the past, so it's repeated. And that's the reason why we don't want it. We stay away from that. So shouts out to Raw in the building. Shouts out to Matron. Appreciate my brother Anthony for coming on here. You know what I'm saying? Wise brother, MG2, wise brother. Y'all subscribe to MG2 channel. Appreciate Hardcore for coming on here. Shouts out to Matron in the building. Y'all subscribe to Matron. And Matron, definitely come back with the live videos. You know what I'm saying? What's going on here? You know what I'm saying? But shouts out to Matron. Shouts out to Cassidra. Y'all subscribe to Cassidra channel. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Bakari, Erica Howard. Shouts out to Erica Howard. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Definitely show her some love. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget about her. And Koku and everybody, I can't name everybody. But I appreciate all of y'all and thank y'all. And let's let these be the last words.
Who taught you, please? Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself who taught you to hate being what God gave you.
Better yet, this should be the last one, because this is real. This is the last one. Shouts out to this video.
That's your deal. Then why did you say that we stink? How we dirty? Oh shit!
Oh, one more time, y'all.
That's your deal. Then why did you say that we stink? How we dirty?
Shouts out to that young Black girl who got more courage than a lot of us when it comes down to it. But thank all of y'all. I appreciate all of y'all for listening, for coming on here. Shouts out to MG2 and my brother Anthony, Raw, everybody. And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're going to keep falling for anything.